with a hickey, you say mosquito do that. Conchita, that ain't no mosquito. It was something bigger, girl, like smell a rat. Something just ain't right. That ain't no mosquito bite. Something just ain't right. Why you acting so uptight? Baby, I've been loving you so long, loving you so strong. Now I'm wondering if someone done been in the cookie jar, plucking on my guitar and pop the G string. Something just ain't right. Why you acting so uptight? Something just ain't right. That ain't no mosquito bite. That ain't no mosquito bite. She gone out to a party last night. She come back with a big icky bite. She said, mosquito do that. Frankly, my dear, it looks more like a bat. A vampire bat. Something just ain't right. Oh, no, something ain't that ain't no mosquito bite. That ain't no mosquito bite. Something just ain't right. No, why you acting so uptight? That ain't no mosquito bite. It ain't right, Lord, it ain't right. That ain't no mosquito bite. Right. Oh, no, that ain't no mosquito bite. That ain't no mosquito bite. Something just ain't right. No, why you acting so uptight? That ain't no mosquito bite. Baby, this slipping and sliding, peeping and hiding. Baby, please come clean. Baby, I'm gonna get pocket. No time for skylarking. You know what I mean. Something just ain't right. Oh, no. That ain't no mosquito bite. That ain't no mosquito bite. Something just ain't right. Why you acting so uptight? That ain't no mosquito bite. You gone out to a party last night. You come back with a big icky bite. You say mosquito do that. Really, my dear, it looks more like a bat. A vampire bat. Ain't right. Oh, no, something that ain't no mosquito bite. That ain't no mosquito bite. It ain't right, Lord. It ain't right. Oh, no, something that ain't no mosquito bite. That ain't no mosquito bite. It ain't right, no. It ain't right. Oh, no, something that ain't no mosquito. That ain't no mosquito bite. It ain't right, no. Oh, it ain't right. Oh, no, something that ain't no mosquito. That ain't no mosquito bite.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know whether or not we cut off from some people, but maybe Melissa. Can we blame her? Melissa can get it. Melissa, yeah, you're a little far, but you can get blamed for some things. That, where you was, I ain't see you. You ain't been on for 2 days. Baby, Melissa had me held down. I couldn't. The water was. What you mean? Melissa in Jamaica. Yeah, we can figure out a way to be able to blame something, right? But we're out here, guys, and being able to talk about these particular things. I just wanted to kind of give you an update to let you know exactly what's what. Prime Minister out of Jamaica being able to speak to these particular things. Our Prime Minister being able to give an evacuation order yesterday. The papers are talking about that 1,400 persons have been evacuated and led out of the southern islands of being able to come up, and they gave significant priority to the sick, to the young, and to the disabled persons, and they're being able to get assistance from able-bodied persons in those particular areas. But it's important that we take this thing serious. This is not a game. This is not a joke. This is not a thing like this. We're no longer kids. We're no longer in this kind of a posture and position that we can be able to say, oh my God, we off today. Let's have a hurricane party. People did that. I don't know if they still do this. I don't think Bahamians, for the hell that we've been through, for the people that we've lost, for this sort of an idea, this is not a game. This is not a game. You around here, hey, listen, get some Henneken. They don't call it Heineken. Henneken, get some Henneken, some Kalik, get something to drink, man. Yeah, man. Let's see if we can put something on the grill for we can be off for a little couple of days. Let's see if we can have a little hurricane party. Hurricane party is wild. Hurricane party is wild. But I'm hoping that you guys are good, man. I really am. We get some great pictures in the papers. With the, I think this is Leroy Lundy being here in the papers and being able to assist with these persons being able to come down out of the office of the Prime Minister. He's in the disaster management division. So all the best to them. This is not an easy thing, and I don't know whether or not you're looking to be able to give kudos to the government to say they did this or they didn't do that, and being able to identify them. It's just peculiar how life is work. It's just peculiar how life works. Darren, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, the former Minister of Foreign Affairs under the Free National Movement, has family members who are actually stuck in this. Now, as I read the story, the first thing I read, and make sure you can pick up the papers and read the story yourself. Right? As I read the story, the first thing I saw when I said Darren Henfield, and then he goes on to talk about 50 persons who were stuck essentially in Jamaica. And this goes to the Caribbean's disaster position and posture. I think the only people who take this thing serious may be Barbados. Because when the hurricane comes swing that way, you only can hold hands on the island and pray to Jesus it don't kill all us. But for the most part, people in the Caribbean are not being able to take the significant caution necessary to ensure that there's lives saved. Governments haven't prepared and created an environment that these things are being able to be taken care of. This is crazy to me. This is crazy to me. And so I continue to pray for you all. I really do. And I'm looking in this newspaper, and this gentleman by the name of Philip Hiller, who passed away, the death notice is in the paper. This man looked like one of the presidents of the United States. He looked like 42. 42 is Bush. Look like Bush. But anyway, guys, we're going to talk about these particular things. And I'm going to pray for y'all, man. I really am. And I'm really going to pray that the Father continues to be able to watch over you. This is not an easy time. This is not an easy time. I want to be able to say that to you. You ready? This is not an easy time. This is a little update and just play a little piece of that. Check this out.
As we are approaching the top of the hour here, you are taking a live look over Jamaica, where Hurricane Melissa is inching closer to making landfall. Now, the storm maintaining its powerful Category 5 status. We told you Monday that officials there reported at least 3 storm-related deaths during the preparations. That number sadly could rise. We know that catastrophic, life-threatening flash flooding and landslides are forecast throughout the day, as the tropical storm force winds and conditions have already been impacting parts of the island. I do want to bring in Matthew Samuda. He is Jamaica's Minister of Water, Environment, and Climate Change, to talk more about this. And Matthew, I know you're very busy, so thank you so much for taking the time to be here with us.
Good morning, Josh. Good morning to you viewers.
Of course. And first off, I did just want to ask you what the situation is like there right now in Jamaica, because we've seen a lot of the live images and it looks like the waves are moving fast and you do have water kind of flowing in some of the streets, it looks like.
So on the eastern half of the island, we are experiencing tropical storm conditions. At about an hour ago, I was updated that the sustained winds at the Norman Manley International Airport were at about 39 miles an hour. The sustained winds in Montego Bay, which is on the northwestern end of the island, are about 40 miles an hour. I'm sure that it is continuing to increase steadily as Hurricane Melissa draws closer to landfall. but we are seeing gusts at particular parts in the country, not sustained winds just yet, but gusts of wind above hurricane level strength. It is at the center of our rainy season. October is traditionally the wettest month in Jamaica, so we've had rain for the past 3 weeks or so, on and off. But over the last 3 or so days, we've had sustained rainfall associated with outer bands and squalls associated with Hurricane Melissa. So you're seeing very saturated ground, which is going to lead to flooding in low-lying areas. It is going to lead to rivers being, forming a state of spate, and they will rise. So we are anticipating flooding. It is why the government would have moved to implement evacuation orders in some areas that we know will be faced not just with traditional flooding, but with the 17-foot storm surge associated with this particular storm. These areas are at particular risk. When you add 17 feet of storm surge to 30 to 40 inches of rain to 170 mile an hour winds, it's a perfect catastrophe. So we are encouraging citizens to use any of our 800 shelters, the shelter nearest to them, and to heed the warnings of the government. The time that they're able to evacuate is indeed coming to an end. We won't be able to send out our police or defense force or the fire department to assist beyond a point where it's safe for them to do so. But we have been in, I think, open dialogue with the population over the last 10 days as this storm has been moving particularly slowly at 1.1 mile an hour. It's now up to 7 miles an hour in terms of its forward movement. But it's been a very slow moving storm. So we've been having the conversation with the public for the better part of the last week, perhaps week and a half.
Can you explain to me how this storm kind of compares to other storms, hurricanes, tropical systems that have hit Jamaica?
So I'm not aware of a Category 5 storm ever hitting Jamaica, certainly not within my lifetime, or not within the lifetime of my parents. We've had, direct hits from a Category 3, which was Hurricane Gilbert 37 years ago. We've had, Hurricane Ivan in 2004 affect us badly. With Category 4 strength winds. We would have experienced Category 4 strength Beryl last year, which didn't come on land, but we certainly got the brunt of its strength in the southwestern part of Jamaica. So Jamaicans aren't new to tropical cyclones. We've been through hurricanes and tropical storms. I'd say every 12 to 18 months we face one, and we do face the sorts of winds associated with it from time to time. This one, however, is very different. It's a very slow-moving storm in terms of its forward movement, which means it will be over Jamaica. It has already affected Jamaica's weather for the past 72 hours, certainly with rainfall, which is unique. Usually within 72 hours, you'd be rid of a storm. This is unprecedented, so we expect unprecedented levels of rainfall. Now, if you contemplate where a Hurricane Ivan or Hurricane Beryl would have affected us in terms of where we would have, tracked gusts, you may have had gusts at 160, 170 miles an hour, but never sustained winds. So to have sustained winds at 170 miles an hour with gusts up to 240 miles an hour as tracked by the National Hurricane Center is indeed a frightening prospect. You layer that in with a 17-foot storm surge in a country where 5 kilometers from the sea, 70% of the population resides. You understand the scale of risk that we indeed face. Our south coast tends to be the major population center, albeit, thank God, the southeast is where majority of the population is. But our countrymen in the southwest of Jamaica would have dealt with the worst of Hurricane Beryl just last year. Our agriculture sector is just recovering. Our infrastructure is not yet completely restored. So to go through a storm which is now stronger, which will sit on top of Jamaica longer than a Hurricane Beryl is not, we're not in a happy place this morning. We're certainly not.
We know that all too well. And we sympathize with you. We empathize with you. We pray with you. We just pray that all the best for you and your family, man. This is not a game. Got to be able to emphasize that this is not a game. And sobriety is an important thing. I just don't understand people. You do not want to go into a life-threatening situation drunk. You don't want to go into a I don't understand people that go 30,000 feet in the air at 400 miles an hour and get drunk. What do you... I mean, I guess if this is how you want to do your thing, then do your thing. But in the event that we are in a life-saving situation and someone has to hurry up, come and rescue you as a result of waters are coming into you don't want to be drunk. You want to be up, alert, assisting. You want to do the best that you can to save yourself and your family. Bahamian people, let's fix this. Caribbean people have this asphyxiation, this relentless love and desire for alcohol. We need to put that down. This is not a game. I continue to be able to pray for you guys. For the 1,400 persons that are evacuated, I pray for your homes and your possessions that are over there. I know many a dog ain't gonna eat now. You ain't gonna feed the dogs. You got the cow out there walking up and down. When you get back, you may not meet your hog. But you got to save your life. Prime Minister says that we got to save lives. And then we will work on livelihood. But we got to save lives. So I pray for you guys. Pray for all those particular things. And when we get back, I want to talk a little bit about what I'm seeing coming out of America. As of November 1st, 2025, the EBT, or what people is called food stamps, will go on a temporary hiatus or be shut off as a result of the government shutdown that happened from October 1st to now. Take a quick break, guys. When we get back, we can talk just a little bit about it after this.
Nassau, Bahamas, Alpha Sounds Promotions is celebrating 25 years of greatness.
Yes, 25 years of love and unity in the Bahamas.
And coming to celebrate with us is none other than Kes the Band.
Yes, Kes the Band.
Alongside Beijing sensation, Ruby. Our very own Nishi LS.
Fanshawn.
Wendy.
Lady E.
Sweet Emily.
Veronica Bishop.
Ancient Man.
Julian Believe and the Pawn Band.
And many more. Hosted by Natural Empress and yours truly, Giselle the Wasi One.
Saturday, November 8th at Breezes Grounds, Cable Beach. Gates open at 7 p.m.
Early bird tickets are just $75. VIP access for $150 with an open bar.
Get your tickets now online at Bahamas8tickets.com, or you can get them at Big Boys Cafe, Plantation Bar and Grill, and Tropics on the Bay. Alpha Sounds, 25 years of greatness.
For more information, call 822-6863.
Saturday, November 8th. Miss it, you matter what.
When I'm feeling under the weather.
Yes. All right. Here we go now. When I was a little boy running around the yard, I used to hear the older men talking by the bar. They talk about the things they did when they were young and strong, and how things are better now than it was before. I didn't understand what they meant back then. I'm a little older now. I think I comprehend when they say age ain't nothing but a number. You're just as old as you feel. Even though I move a little slower, everything I do is twice as sweet, just like wine. All the time, champagne, my name, caviar, from afar, candy, brandy. Oh, sounding good, sounding good. Let's go count, let's go count. Come on, let's go.
I just can't understand some people, I am told. They live their life from day to day, thinking about getting old. Stay young, stay strong, live happily. Then you'll be guaranteed to look sexy like me. It doesn't matter how the days may come and go. It's all about the way you feel, so I've got to let you go. Age ain't nothing but a number. You're just old as you feel. Even though I move a little slower, everything I do is twice as sweet, just like wine. All the time, champagne, my name. I'm so young, feeling fine. young girls all the time.
Oh, sounding good, Fred. You're sounding good, boy.
Ay, ay, ay.
Come on, Ronnie. Now every day the sun comes up, I'm better than before. I think about the things I did and I want to do some more.
Even though my set may change, my hair turn a little white, I take one day at a time and I party every night.
It doesn't matter how days may come and go. It's all about the way you feel. I'm here to let you know that age doesn't got a number. So what if I ain't got no teeth? The reason why I move a little slower, I got corn on top of both my feet. But just like wine,
All the time.
champagne, my name, caviar from afar, candy, brandy.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Foundation with Howard Grant. Grateful to be in your company. Grateful to jam with you on a day-to-day basis. Always being able to be here. We're gonna grow, man. I know a lot of persons are seeing me on the street. Howard, we miss you off the radio. Howard, we want to hear you on the radio. That's okay. You're gonna hear me real soon. We're working on some stuff to be able to get some things done. And please just be patient with me. I wanted to create a space that I can always be and keep my mind occupied to do this on a day-to-day basis and kind of jam with you every day. So this is why we're here, and we want to be able to keep this fresh and rich and real as we continue to be able to go from one issue after another. I'm thinking to myself, I can see if I could be able to pull in some of them young persons to be able to tell me a little about what their thoughts are as it relates to the by-election, but we're going to be having that real soon, and we're going to be talking about those things. But I wanted to bring some stuff to your attention. I wanted to have a kind of a clear conversation with you about how things are happening in the country, how things are going, and this kind of a contrast of what we're seeing happening in America, and bringing that home to here in the Bahamas. The SNAP, the Supplemental Nutrients Assistance Program, or something, I can't remember, or anyway, it's a food benefit program out of America, right? The benefits have been shut down as of October 1st, 2025. The government of America has shut down in so many instances as a result of not being able to agree upon a budget. Now, this happened in 2013, and this happened in 2018-19. So it happened under Obama, it happened under Trump. And what happened during both of those particular times is that they kind of scrambled to figure out how they're going to do some stuff. They try to figure out, how we're going to be able to, and they found some money to lighten the blow and create opportunities for those particular things. For all intents and purposes, as we look at this right now, with the sort of the introduction that came emanated out of the White House to indicate that on November 1st, those benefits will be cut off entirely, there isn't this kind of conversation that exists on its heels to say, but we're going to do this, or we're going to be able to ensure that we can mitigate against that by doing these particular. None of this is happening. Take a look at this right here.
The pain from the government shutdown is growing now well into its fourth week. SNAP benefits for more than 40 million Americans could run out on November 1st. At least one expert is predicting this could potentially trigger the greatest hunger catastrophe in the U.S. since the Great Depression. Here's ABC's Alex Prochet.
Tonight, with the government shutdown well into its fourth week, millions of Americans are bracing for an even bigger strain. On Friday, more than 500,000 federal workers missed their first full paycheck. Another 700,000 plus are set to join them this week. And starting next weekend, federal SNAP food assistance benefits for some 40 million Americans will run out. The USDA website now with this stark warning. Bottom line, the well has run dry. At this time, there will be no benefits issued November 1st. The message blaming the shutdown on Senate Democrats. Democratic leadership pushing back.
We've maintained from the very beginning and continue to maintain we will sit down anytime, any place with anyone.
For now, millions of Americans are preparing for the worst. Food banks inundated.
We're trying to stock up before something happens.
This DC food pantry trying to keep up with demand. Most Sundays they serve 300 families. Today, they're on pace for 400.
I just helped this one lady. She was like, I didn't think I was going to have to be here, but God willing, the government's going to open up next week.
Air traffic controllers calling out sick and taking second jobs, leading to staffing shortages at major airports in Washington, D.C., Chicago, and Newark. LAX temporarily issuing a ground stop. Our Faith Abube is at Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson Airport.
Here in Atlanta, the TSA security lines mirroring what they usually look like during peak holiday travel, with some travelers taking about an hour just to get through.
And Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent today warning that funds to pay the military will soon run out.
We managed to find the money in the middle of October to pay our brave service members, and I think we'll be able to do it on November 1st, but we're going to be out of money on November 15th. And, for a military not to get paid is a disgrace.
Lindsay, a vote to fund the government has failed in the Senate 12 times now, and the House is scheduled to be on recess for what would be its 5th consecutive week. And through it all, this Congress still gets paid. Lindsay?
In the midst of such increase.
And we're back. We're back. I just look at the fella mouth, right? So anyway, we're doing these things, being able to identify these stuff. Now let's just talk about this now. We're getting somewhere, and I want to have a very clear conversation with you. I want to breathe. I don't want to take my time with this. I want you guys to be able to contribute today. If you want to be able to hit me up on the Facebook thing, there you can do that. Or you can be able to hit me up live or give me a call, whatever you want. It's fine. I'm here, and I want to have a clear conversation with you today. There are some trends that are happening. There are some trends that are happening since the introduction of Donald Trump after the acquisition of power in the United States of America, even with the conversation about Trump being a president for another term again. There are some trends happening. I want to talk with you, and I want to be easy with you. And this is not to be able to get you all riled up about what's happening in America. What happened in America is America business. It ain't got nothing to do with us. We have affiliations, we have relationships, but only when we're engaged. We don't get in people's business. But this is saying to you, as we talk the way that we do, as we look over our fence into their yard, we could see some things happening. And that's all this conversation is. This isn't that we should be able to do this or do that. No. We're looking over and we could see some things happening. And that's it. Since the introduction of new leadership in the United States of America, there has been some shifts that have taken place. Beautiful. Relentless, steadfast, and determined, these particular shifts have taken place. America, since its inception of this particular leadership, this second tier of leadership by Donald Trump, has presented itself convicted. They have fortified and the laws that existed on the books, and fortified those laws that existed on the books by being able to enforce those laws. So one of the greatest enemies of the state for foreigners who have been introduced to the United States of America by we're the land of the free, the home of the brave, a place where you can get all your dreams come true. The whole country is Disney World. Come here. And now with Trump being able to come in as the world is shifting on its axis, and people realize that we don't have that kind of resources to be taking care of everybody else in their ma. We got to take care of us. America understood that. America wasn't supposed to be selfish. the reciprocity in the relationship between America and the rest of the world was that we extend this to you. You are now in our debt. And when we call upon you as a nation that has relationships with us, when we call upon you, this is what our expectations are. And for the most part, everybody understood that. No problem. The world was in a time of peace. We're still in a time of peace, but we could see the writing on the wall to indicate that there just may be a tumultuous time ahead. I can't even get no amen. I can't get no amen. The writing on the wall has indicated to us that there is a tumultuous time ahead. There is a time that we need to understand how we will endure that is coming ahead. It's afoot. And as we are in this kind of a posture and position, you have to be an ostrich with your head in the ground, in your behind, not to be able to recognize that the writing is on the wall globally. You got to pay attention to these things because these are going to affect all of us. Let's look at this. The introduction of the tariffs and America being able to take its strength back to identify what it will do, and putting up tariffs against one of its major enemies who simultaneously owns a great deal of its debt. It's confusing, but this is what it is. Raising tariffs 110% on China. And then raising tariffs globally after he's made strategic inflections of whose tariffs should be higher and what they should do. Globally, raising it 10%. All of us get licked with that. We saw leaders in the Caribbean being able to take on this kind of a posture to say, well, we'll just have to take care of ourselves. We don't have to worry about it. But, America need to be reminded. You're confusing me. You're confusing me. America needs to be reminded that we're not the enemy. You're confusing me, sir. You're doing way too much. You just say, we could take care of ourselves. You don't have to worry about no America. But if America, if I was to say anything to you, I'd tell you, you remember that time when we was good friends, man. We never do you nothing wrong. I could see you doing that to the Bahamas. This Jamaica. I'm sorry, this is Barbados. I could see you doing that to any other nation. But us? No, man. Be your friends. Trump cowtailed and made a different decision. It was up and down. And then he took on a position with the visas. Bam! Almost every child my son went to school with in North Carolina is home. The College of the Bahamas has indicated, the University of the Bahamas has indicated that this is the most students that they've seen enrolled over this last semester. The most students that they've seen enrolled in the University of the Bahamas, if not historically, for a very long time. Children, after they would have been informed, okay, let me tell you what happened. My son came from school, from Shaw University, North Carolina. That's where he was. It took me a while. I had to get that. Shaw University, North Carolina. He was in the band. He was playing and so forth and so on. He was good. And his irresponsibility is placed him in a particular position. And as a father, you got to learn how to travel your own course. I support you up to the juncture of asininity. I will not travel beyond this particular point. There is no entry for daddies beyond this point where it says, do not enter. This is ass territory. And you seek to travel in that area. I can't go with you, sir. I can't go with you over there. If you seek to travel the wasteland of an ass, go ahead. This is daddy son time. He learning. He ain't dead. He good. And so he came home. Less than 7 months, 6 months after he came home, he had friends coming home, none of them complete. They have modified the program in the United States of America where they afforded opportunities for persons from external entities or external countries to be able to come into America, get educated, to give you scholarships to do all these things. They cut that off. So where it would have cost me, let's say roughly $1,000 a month to ensure that we can be able to, it was just sort of, it was just something that we paid. Taxes and whatever these particular things were. It was nothing much. Those benefits, cut off. You got to pay X amount of dollars. And so even though we hadn't reached this particular juncture, his friends they were met with this. Trump has taken on the position to be able to eradicate Haitians, and I think Trinidad and Tobago is having some problems. Venezuela, other things. Listen, this is not a game. This is not a game. I keep trying to tell you this ain't no game. Everybody think that this is same old, life as usual. This is not. This is not that at all. This is not life as usual. This is not a game. This is a serious thing. So they made modifications to that. And then we saw Trump simultaneously take on this kind of a posture with the Gaza Strip. We saw Trump being able to withdraw the Americans' commitment to the UN. I think it was the UN. Withdraw their support, which represented, I think, some $500 billion annually. And Trump said, this is unfair. We pay more than everyone else. And y'all don't do nothing for us. Make America Great Again campaign is wild. Make America Great Again, the Make America Great Again campaign is not local. It's global. Every one of us are feeling the pinch of this modification that the Trump administration has taken to ensure that it could be able to fortify its citizens and the position of its citizens. Now, Make America Great Again has taken, in my view, another turn. As of October 1st, 2025, there was a standoff. You just watched the clip. There was a standoff between the Democrats and the Republicans in the House, in the Senate, to be able to make a determination as to whether or not a particular bill would be passed, a budget would be passed, to ensure that this administration can be able to execute what their desires are, whatever their agenda is, they put it out there. They met an impasse. They came to an impasse. And as a result of the impasse and their inability to make a decision with so much time that elapsed, the government shut down. And government shutdown only mean that people, the currency, the reciprocity, the flow of business, the accounts receivable and accounts payable from a government arm is functioning and things are moving. Money is going out, money is coming in, money is going out, money is coming in. The government shutdown represents a halt, a seizure, a seizing of those flow and currency and a movement in those particular spaces. This halt has happened from October 1st. 28 days, people didn't get paid. 28 days. People didn't get paid. Now, America ain't nothing, and you know, there's sort of an idea of when America sneezes, we catch the cold. that is represented in so much elements and aspects that it's not even funny. Americans have been living hand to mouth. As soon as the check come, so many persons in America, a significant portion of the population lives in this sort of perpetually dependent posture. And that's not their fault. That's not their fault. We can go back. The SNAP program or the social benefit program or the food stamp program or whatever people want to call it was introduced in 1939. 1939 would have been the introduction of those particular things, and this would have been just after the Second World War or after the Great Depression. I'm sorry, just before, right? The Great Depression. So let's go. 1939, food stamp programs begin under FDR. 1945, World War II ends, program discontinued, then revived prematurely and permanently in 1964. In 2008, it was renamed the SNAP program. This was initially called the Food Stamp Program. And then it was renamed the SNAP program, which is modernized into EBT cards. Today, a legacy program woven into America for over 85 years. Now they want to be able to find out more information about who uses SNAP. And let's get the real picture. It's not to talk about the dependency has a color, a story, a stereotype, but the data tells a more complicated truth. The status in 2023 USDA, 32.9% of the SNAP households were African American. 32.9%. 32.9% of SNAP households were African American. 24.5% of SNAP households were Hispanic. 8.1% of SNAP households were Hispanic. Hispanics don't need you to give nothing to them. They can be all right. And then the other percentage, let's see if we can be able to add that up. $64. And then the other percent, which represent about 36%, I suppose, is Asians, Native Americans, and multiracials. Okay? Let's do this. We go and we can travel through this. Not just black or poor, it's the working poor, the disabled, the seniors, the single parents, and the veterans. Poverty is not always visible, and it's often working families who still can't make ends meet. Now, I believe that this is a tough love strategy for America, with the concept and idea of being able to make America great again. Is this a strategy to resort and to restore the dignity and responsibility of the American people? Or is it a cruel gamble with people's hunger and their lives? The MAGA doctrine often frames aid as enabling laziness. This discussion could be interpreted as tough love move. Critics say that the shutdown weaponizes hunger and pressure Democrats to force their budget compliance. Historical echoes indicate that policies that once claimed to uplift the poor often lift them to more dependency. I'm trying to get somewhere with you. If you would allow me to make this kind of a frame and make you to understand something, this could be a good thing for America. It's going to be a time of trouble. There's going to be a time of trial. There's going to be a time of significant tribulation. It may be a time of increased observation on the streets, because a hungry belly would put many men in various positions to do whatever it takes to get their money back, or to find money to take care of themselves and their families. But statistics are bananas. I want to talk to you about this. I would like to be able to look at the contrast between, or I would like to juxtapose this introduction of the EBT or the food stamps, and contrast that to the separation of families in America. That's where everyone go. The dependency that the working class, the poor, those particular persons who have been nurtured over 2 generations to rely upon the government for government cheese, hard sugar, would it take forever to give you? Didn't hear all your stories. The sugar would it take forever. You got to put hot water on the sugar for the thing to dissolve. That cheese that never melts. You could light that on fire, that wouldn't burn, right? This kind of a dependency that you've been having forever on the government, just to be able to take whatever they get, has placed you in a position that you have rejected your families. Where am I going? I'm going somewhere with this. I'm going somewhere with this. You don't need no man. Divorce rates skyrocketed. Single motherhood has increased significantly since 1939 because of the perceived posture of Father America being able to take care of all your children. I don't need no man. And this mindset has traveled even further back from the dependency of blacks and browns on the plantation to the quote-unquote master that existed in that particular space. If you look at this, America is nothing big, nothing more than a slave ground. Same concept, same ideas, same structure, same dependency, the separation of families, the desire to be, all these things, no matter the introduction of industry, the introduction of technology, the introduction of articulation, the introduction of education, all of this, you strip away those things, you look at the bare bones of America, it's the same thing as the colonial layout. It's the exact same thing. Nothing's changed. Now, this is not me making a case for Donald Trump. This is not me making a case to indicate that it may be hard, but it is worth it. Because of the mindset that exists in this particular space, families decide. And if you look at the statistics, women, for the most part, have come to the conclusion that I don't need a man. This is a strong conversation. I know you don't want to have this kind of a conversation with me. If you look at the numbers, and we're not talking about the world, because America has shoveled off this concept and idea of democracy to be ingested by the world. And so what has been birthed in America is this mindset that says, I'm taking care of you, you don't need a man. I will take care of the kids, you don't need a man. I will provide you government assisted home living. And they put it in zones. And based upon that zone, watch me. There are families in America that have an 8-bedroom house zoned in a particular capacity. And all their children could live in there and they could take care of that, and they get dependents and they get all these particular things, as long as they don't get married. And the language is not structured to say that you don't get married. The language is structured as long as you are dependent on the state, we will take care of you. But in the event that you find yourself married, these benefits will be dried up for you. And so the idea of marriage was never a beautiful thing. Not for those who came up under this system. Look at the statistics. And the only reason, and I just want to be decent, the only reason 24.5% of those particular persons are Caucasian is because America has 160 some million Caucasians. 340 some million people live in America. 160 some million of those or more are Caucasians. America, watch me, we can get deep, you know. We can get deep. Because y'all don't realize how lousy we are when we depend upon other people. This happens on a micro level and it happens on the macro level. I'm showing you the micro level that exists within America, but this conversation is a big one. So we're only talking about something from an external standpoint. We're talking about America and what's happening there. 24.5% of the persons in America right now, on food stamps, let's call it food stamps, on food stamps in America right now are from white households. That 24.5% represents this particular number because they are out of 160 million people. So you can have some stragglers, you can have some dependents, you can have this, you can have that. Out of the less than 40 million people in America, African Americans lead the charge from 2023 based upon the statistics that's come out. They lead the charge in being able to get food stamps by a whopping 32%. And they represent not even 50% of the population. They don't even represent 50% of the population. They don't even represent 10% of the American population. And they're leading independence. The necessity for dependency. So the government shutdown, bang. And the government shutdown has placed everybody in this kind of position. You saw the clip. Persons need to go find another job because they need to get paid. People live from hand to mouth. They need to be able to get it paid. They live from paycheck to paycheck. That's where people live. This is how the world is. America gives you this sort of an idea. Landed free, home of the brave. You don't know that you got to pay taxes out of your behind. Jesus. Woo! I tell my cousin I say, I think I want to move to California. My cousin saying, you stupid, eh? You know how much taxes I pay over here? I said, what you mean? He said, listen, more than 50% taxes here. People screaming, I want to move to Canada. You know how much taxes? Listen, if you make $1, 65 cents of the dollar, sometimes 50 to 65% of the dollar, just go to the government. Now you justify this by being able to say, well, you know, we get great health care and all these things in Canada. Well, if you ain't sick every day, what the hell that benefiting you? Would that benefit me? I ain't sick every day. Would that benefit you? If you ain't sick every single day and find yourself in the necessity to be able to get pills upon this, upon that, you paying taxes for nothing. I might just have to cough 2 times and tell, boss, I can't do it today. You all give me some NyQuil or something because I paying too much taxes. That's China. That's Canada. $20 billion economy is California or more. Billion. One of the biggest economies in the world, California. They introduce medicinal cannabis into the space, and then they introduce recreational cannabis into the space. Boom! Big money. You go to California right now, millions and millions of people live in what they call tent cities. This America that y'all won't go to so bad. This America. They got to get subventions. All the churches got to get subventions. All the nonprofit organizations got to get subventions. All these particular entities who want to feed people got to get subventions from the government to feed you. I got to ask for help to feed you while you live out here in this particular space. Now they're cutting off the EBT program. In 2013, when they did this under the Obama administration, they found some money. We got some money. We can take care of people. It ain't shut down all the way. Okay, good. Praise God. That was a close one. 2018-19, the same thing happened under the Trump administration. Okay, they find some money. Praise God, we can shut it down. 2025 roll around, Make America Great campaign. Trump's posture is stoic and determined, focused and relentless. There has been conversations about the fact that Trump has a significant, and then, you know, people start talking about these things. We haven't seen Trump in a couple of days. If he doesn't go out and play golf in where the hell this place is? It's someplace down in Miami or in the South Florida. If he doesn't go play there on his golf course, then, you know, we know that what the golf course called? Oh Lord, why it slipped my mind? If he doesn't go and play golf down there, he's going to be sick, and we know that this is going to be happening, and all these foolishness that's happening. Trump shows up, and he's focused, relentless, and determined, and he's getting it done. I believe that this is a blessing in disguise. As long as you have someone to depend upon, you wouldn't work on the relationships that stand before you. Women in the United States of America, black, white, historic, Hispanic, I don't care. They have children, and I'm not knocking them. I'm saying to you, it's happening in our society too. This is the sneeze and sick scenario that exists. Women in the United States of America find themselves in the position where they are having 5 and 6 children for 5 and 6 different men. And I don't believe that it's because they have made a declarative position and signed this sort of a contract and this covenant that they've made that I will be like a loose goose. I will be out here and I will procreate. I don't believe that's what's happening. I believe that any turbulence that they've identified in a relationship, they don't have any incentives to stay. And so as a result of the lack of incentives that exist in this particular space, they could get up and go. They could say, the hell with this relationship, the hell with you, I don't need you, get out of my house. This is a Section 8 house. The God I'm taking care of, me and my children will be good. There's more incentives to have children and don't have a partner than there is. As a result of having children, you now qualify for the acquisition of these stuff. You don't care how you get it, you got it. So you out here in the United States of America on Section 8, eating government cheese, get on EBT with 8 children for 8 different men, but you are content. Because Big Papa taking care of me, baby. Ooh, Big Papa America. And now, with the potential of these particular things happening right before you could get your collard greens and your ham hocks and your turkey, which you want deep fry outside in the back, and your ham and your pineapples and your yam and whatever things that you're like for your Thanksgiving time, As this approaches, now sobriety got to hit you. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know how I'm going to feed my children. And I say it's good. It's not good for the tribulation that you must endure, but you must endure tribulation. You got to go through the valley and shadow of asininity. You got to go through the valley and shadow of rejection. You got to go through the valley and shadow of humility before you can get back to the position to strengthen yourself and recognize, I could do this. We went through it. Dorian and the pandemic was our short passage. I don't know, but I went through it. And I know a lot of families and individuals who went through that. You have had relentless dependency on this job forever. As soon as you couldn't go to work, your bills never stop. As long as you live in your bills going on. And you're going through the pandemic. Let's say you move from Abaco. You move from Abaco, your house break down, and you still got to live. If you're living with your cousin then look at you for 3 days, laying on their couch as they get up to go to work, and you laying right there crying. You better don't stop crying. Because as soon as you stop crying, they can say, Sarah, how long you gonna be here? I don't have nowhere to go. Yeah, I understand. You better cry quick. Quick. Get back to your crying. Because as soon as we see sobriety hit you and you out of this sort of a broken mode, you need to figure out how you can take care. You got to pay some of these bills. You in this house, you got to pay some of these bills, baby. I don't have a job. Okay. You got something. Better figure it out. This is what's happening in the world. America cut that off. Bam. Now, where you can turn? You got 6 children, you got 8 children, you got 4 children, you got 2 children. However much children you got dependents. They didn't tell 2 baby daddies, I don't need you. This is a scenario in the States. I didn't even put the baby daddies in jail. I just want to be decent. You've come to this particular posture. I am woman, hear me roar. I am every woman type thing. And you find yourself in this particular position where you don't necessarily see, and women don't want to have this conversation. You rely upon dependency. You depend upon, you need security. For many women, education has become that crutch, that security, that kind of a thing that you could lean up on. For many women, education is this kind of I don't need no man. I'm good. I got my education. I'm recognized socially about these particular things. And then after you get your particular crutch and you find your years growing, you look back and say, listen, I need to be able to reproduce and have some kids. America has provided you that also. You could go to a sperm bank. You don't need a man for nothing in the States. This is what they created. This is the flipping monster that America has created. You don't need man. White man, black man, Chinese man, Asian man, Jamaican man, Latino man. You don't need them for nothing. Occasional sex is fine. Where can I go and find a man that I just want to have sex with and no strings attached? Oh, let's go to Tinder. Let's go to Grindr. Let's go to one of these apps. Now they're cutting off the EBT. And people are here crying, trying to figure out how I can take care of myself and my children. What I can do. Anything but a job yet. America make you all so lazy that you would go and get a job. Watch me. You would go and get a job and you would do the most garbage on that job, hoping to Jesus that these people fire you. You can't quit the job, you know. You hope that they fire you. You know why you won't get fired? So you can get benefits from being fired, unemployment benefits. And these people who wish to be able to manipulate the system have survived and gotten fat off of this system which they've manipulated for so long that if this thing dries up, you will see death, calamity, significant crime. But as soon as we walk through that, you will see reformation in America. And that will make America great again. Your greatness was not the size of your country. Your greatness was not your liberty. Your greatness was the equality that we presume that you had. And all that was a facade. I don't know how we thought that you were great. And Rodney King getting beat in the 1990s, just praying to God, can we all just get along? Why is he getting beat? I don't know how we even assumed that you were great. And segregation still existed in this particular space. I don't know how we assumed that you were great. At some of your places, including Miami, had been grown out of drug money while you continue to be able to condemn the world around you. I don't know how we assumed that America was this quote-unquote great country, shoveling off this concept and idea of democracy to the world around us. We look at them, and we still won't go there. Because of the liberty, because of the slackness, because of the access, because of the free sex, presumably, that exists in this particular space. We didn't watch we read The Hustler, we read the Playboy books, we read all these things. We didn't watch all the hi, it's the plumber. Oh my God, I want to move to America. Maybe plumbers do this. This idea of sex and the access of this liberty and this raunchy posture that you want to be able to move to, you can't wait to get there. You get there, and you don't even care that your building is 5 by 5 in New York and you got to sleep inside the zinc. You in New York, baby. Your bed leaning on the wall, you got to sleep standing up. That's how small the $1,000, $1,500 room is in New York. You got rats in there say, hey buddy, I was here first. That's what you want. Now they're cutting the thing off. Let's see how strong y'all is in America. Let's see whether or not you have the resolve. Because I was asking questions and I was trying to find out information about the fact that in America right now, if they cut off the EBT, if the Republicans decide to be able to not find their monies, and Trump administration has taken this posture that they're not going to find their money to cut on the EBTs to ensure that they can be able to create a buffer that persons could be able to eat, especially as they get into the winter seasons, especially as they get into the Thanksgiving time, especially as they get into the Christmas season. If they're not even looking for the money, it says to me that this could just be a ploy. And if Democrats are not being able to kind of acquiesce and say, okay, we'll agree with these particular things, then what is the objective? Do you think that these people who've been on food stamps, hello, do you think that these people who've been on food stamps, who've been suckering off the government for years, who has the only information they need to know is how else can I manipulate the system to get to my objective? I got to have 2 children. I got to have more dependents. They pay a power bill when you do that. Oh my God. They've done everything to find a way around the system. Now you ain't feeding them no more. You think they can pick up the telephone and call their representatives and say, hey, listen, I'm a voter. And I want you to be able to ensure that you support this particular bill. Yeah, in theory, that's a good idea. But the truth of the matter is that the hell that's going to happen. That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. All you can do is look for ABC News, CBS News, Fox News, all these particular local news stations, WXVN7, LA News, or all these things. That's the most you could do. especially as a black American that represents 32% of these particular things. The most you could do is look for a news outlet and tell them your feelings. And let us be out here and make a whole meme about you. While you say, nobody got time for that. Because that's what you're good for. You're good for a moment. But the movement that existed in you has been extracted. So you're only good for a light moment. You're no longer good for the movement. You're only good for a light moment. And so now you ain't got no EBT. What you can do? What you can do? What you can do when you had the Black Panther organization, when you had the United Negro Association, when you had all these particular entities to be able to ensure that you could strengthen each other and find your way. When you had Black Wall Street, you allowed these things to be eradicated, not because you acquiesce, not because you're soft. Yeah, you moved on and you allowed them to kill the vision in your spirit. America. They killed Martin, they killed Michael, they killed, who else they killed? They killed everybody. Malcolm, everybody. You shoot them up. Anyone who shown themselves to the cause of better and greatness for the Black American community and had a voice was eradicated or absorbed. Come on. It was either eradicated or absorbed. And a lot of your voices that can be able to stir up the emotions that cause people to move in the right direction, that has a voice, that has an idea, that can be able to speak futuristically, has been absorbed through the music industry, given all sorts of money and a script. So you don't even have motivation and inspiration in your damn music no more. You're only good for a moment. That's why your TikTok clips is 7 seconds, 8 seconds, 10 seconds, 15 seconds. You're good for a good moment. But if you give them too much time, they could possibly start a movement because it exists in you. And I'm hoping that the revival, by the eradication of this particular thing and the shutting down of United States of America government, the business of government, has placed you in a position to recognize that you too, just as we did with the Dorian, just as we did with the pandemic, understood the strength that we had. Now that we don't have to go depend upon the government for things no more relentlessly, we could be able to find our own things and make some things happen. Just as we did in those particular spaces, you too. You too. You need to get up and find a job. Find a relationship. Get those lazy ass children out of your house on all those devices or whatever the case may be. And let them pack some bag. Let them go shovel something. Let them do something in the community. America wants to get back to an industrial state. Let your children work. They don't want the Mexicans come to do it. Somebody got to do it. They put wall up after wall. They say there was 2,000 people a day crossing the borders. They've reduced that number under this Trump administration from December, November to now to 20. 20. From 2,000 to 20. And not because they've done some sort of enforcement. They've created legislation around the rejection of those particular persons who are coming into the United States of America. Their border patrol no longer exists at the borders. It exists inland with ICE. These people, I watched this woman curse out the ICE. You bumper clot, ICE, a mother, baby. Hey, she cussed this man so bad. You would think he made these decisions. This man with his mask over his face as an ICE agent look like a Mexican. Looking at him, sir, you look like your name Pablo or Juan. I'm just looking at you. Not in a bad way. He have his mask up over his nose and talking her through the thing like this. And she cussing this man as though he made these policies. She ready to fight. This woman ready to fight. There are people in the United States of America right now who are traveling behind ICE agents. This is just supposed to be their job. This is only a job for these people. All they are is the division responsible for the enforcement of a law that came down from leadership in the country. This is my job. These people hate ICE. Hate them. Hate them. Because how dare America enforce its own laws? How dare America do that? How dare you, America? We've been living in comfort and contentment for such a long time. You should have allowed us to continue. You better figure out a way to self-deport for your ass end up in Alligator Alley. You better figure it out. You all think this is a joke, eh? You all go down there. When these people realize that they don't have no need to be decent no more. You go to Alligator Alley, you believe you can find decency in there. These people was hiding out in America for years. And they had to play decent as law-abiding citizens and all these things like that because they want to stay in America. So don't draw no attention to me. You stuck them in one place down in Alligator Alley where they ain't got these cots where they got to sleep in and they ain't got no air conditioning and all these things like that. You will see the monster come out of them. And this is what y'all Bahamians want? You over there sitting down in America right now talking foolishness, but well, they ain't gonna never catch me. You think they don't know where you is? They're coming for you. They're coming for you. I, myself, when I eating, I like to eat my rice and my meat and my sides together. I like that. Some people just leave the sides to the last. You can be the last. But they're coming for you. Get out of America. If you ain't supposed to be there, come home. I can't even get no amen, Jesus. America, make America great again. Ain't got not a damn thing to do with you. Ain't got nothing to do with you. If you ain't got your papers, if you ain't straight in America, if you're out here floating and hoping, get out of America. Don't worry, you could still find love in America. ChristianMingle.com, right? You can do that, right? Or Tinder. I see people just get married off of these things and Grindr and all these, I don't know, whatever. It's still hope for you. I'm going to freak out. But find yourself in a better position. Find yourself in a position where you can be able to grow exponentially. And you don't have to be one of these persons who have to endure the shifting and the changing times that exist in this space. They're cutting off food benefits. I can't believe y'all as Bahamians over there and sucking off of the land of America like that. You move from the Bahamas to move to America, to become an American citizen, to go on their food service, the social service benefits. Oh, Jesus, you might as well stay home. Somebody to give you a sour sop and two mango off their tree. You can eat something off the tree. We ain't gonna let you go hungry. You understand what I'm saying? I give you a piece of the sugar. No, the sugar cane is a little expensive now. Calm down. It's too much. Have some ganap. Yeah, we can take care of you. We can take care of our own. We can figure it out home. You move to America to rely upon what they be able to give their citizens. Come on, man. I down with Make America Great Again. I down with it. I down with it. Now, whatever this posture and this concept that they have in terms of being able to shut down America and shut down the government and so forth and so on, and you're not going to be able to receive your benefits for the EBT program or the food stamp program or whatnot, I down with that too. Because we've made you dependent. We've made you a sucker. And we made your children suckers. That's 2 and 3 and 4 generation of suckers who only want to be able to eat off of the fat of the land. Ain't never produced nothing. Ain't never vote. Ain't never been a part of nothing. You ain't got no good credit score. You ain't got no education. You're out here doing drugs. You're doing this. You're doing that. What the hell are you doing, man? Cut them off. Cut them off. Cut them off. Oh, how are you being so insensitive to the... Hey, how long will you be torn between two opinions? How long? How long we can live this life and allow you to be lousy? How long? Do you believe that your worth and value? Do you know how much people dead? How much people didn't make it? How long will you be non-productive and people have to drag you through your relationship, through school? They got to be able to provide you social promotion. You can't even read and write. We got to promote you because you're getting too big. How long will you be torn between two opinions? Choose today to be decent. Choose today to be decent. And so essentially that's what I wanted to talk about today. I want to thank you guys so much for being able to tune in today with me. There's some information I'm getting out of the United States of America. Most people here in the country that are on SNAP or WIC or EBT are employed. Most are even full-time. This coming from the West Coast. So the statistics I have is generally out of America. We call those statistics. We indicated that 32% of that particular persons who are on EBT are African American, 24% are Caucasian Americans, 8% represent this, 64%, so forth and so on. So we've identified those particular things. It's peculiar. It's peculiar. I'm still down with it. I don't think that the government needs to be able to put you in this position, but we have to figure out how do we get families back together? How now can we work through our disagreements? How now can we be able to work on the development of the family? How do we stay with each other? We have no other choice. We have no other choice. There's no community. There's no one coming to my aid. There's no support from an external factor. How can we work this out with civility? How can we work our relationship out for the kids? None of this is important because you don't have to do that in America, or you didn't have to do it before. But now you need somewhere to eat. Let's be decent. Good conversation, guys. I want to thank you guys so much for being able to tune in with us today. We're going to check you tomorrow and probably get into a little taste of politics right here on The Foundation.
Yes. All right. Here we go now. When I was a little boy running around the yard, I used to hear the older men talking by the bar. They talk about the things they did when they were young and strong, and how things are better now than it was before. I didn't understand what they meant back then. I'm a little older now. I think I comprehend when they say age ain't nothing but a number. You're just as old as you feel. Even though I move a little slower, everything I do is twice as sweet, just like wine. All the time, champagne, my name, caviar, from afar, candy, brandy. Oh, sounding good, sounding good. Let's go count, let's go count, come on, let's go.
I just can't understand some people, I am told. They live their life from day to day, thinking about getting old. Stay young, stay strong, live happily. Then you begin guaranteed to look sexy like me. It doesn't matter how the days may come and go. It's all about the way you feel, so I've got to let you know. Age ain't nothing but a number. You're just all that you feel. Even though I move a little slower, everything I do is twice as sweet, just like wine.